Hello ladies and gentlemen, Spirit of the Law here. It's been a little while and I thought it was about time that I did another commentary. So this is a game that I played a couple days ago. It was a 1 vs 1. The reason I haven't been playing very many of these is because my internet's been kind of hit or miss lately, but I think it's been better now so I can play some online games. I wouldn't want to drop or anything like that. I will still be doing these civilization overviews and the math questions and stuff, but I'm also going to be trying to work in some actual gameplay since that's really what it's all about for me. If you do want to play me, you can add me on Steam, just look up Spirit of the Law. I don't know if it'll be with the spaces or all in one word, but yeah, give that a shot and it would be awesome. Add me as a friend, and I'm usually on Saturdays. That's a good day to find me online, but that's Saturdays for Western Canada. So yeah, I'm also on randomly in the week, so it'd be cool to play with some people that watch the channel. Anyway, so back to the match. This was a random game. This isn't somebody from the channel. Look at that score difference. Wow, this guy's beating me bad. So this is a random person. His rank is a 1600, but the match was created as unranked. So that 1600 doesn't tell you very much, because I know that there's some players that will be really good. They're like 2100, 2200, and then nobody wants to play with them anymore. So they restart their account and then they just play unranked games. So you don't really know by looking at the rank. And I got a feeling, especially at this point when he was beating me by so much early on in the score, that he's pretty good. A lot of that can come down to scouting with the sheep and stuff though. So yeah, so my civilization is the Japanese. Believe it or not, I did actually pick random. I know I always pick the Japanese, and you know, I don't apologize for that. I love the civilization, but I tried to mix it up for you guys and it didn't happen because I put in random and it gave me Japanese anyway. I had to laugh when it happened. So I was against him. He was the Britons. He didn't do random. He picked the Britons, which is a very interesting choice because it's in Arabia. It's a very open map, and the Britons are an unusual choice. So I wasn't sure if that reflects the fact that maybe he is a newer player, ranked 1600, or if he's just going to go for a little bit different strategy, or just really likes the civilization. So like this score lead is crazy. So I'm on 14. He's on 15. It seems pretty close. He's doing his boar lures, pretty normal build with the 4 on the wood, and then going over pretty similar place to where I'm at with the boar. And let's see if there's anything. So just take a look at the map. So I have some forward gold and I have some back gold. That's really nice. And I have forward stone. Not such a big problem. And my wood isn't so good here. Just have a little bit at the back. This would be far too exposed for me to feel comfortable putting a lumber camp over there. Whereas looking at his map, he has the nicer wood along the back, although his gold and stone are also up front and his berries are up front. Berries are a really easy thing to raid, although I usually don't do too much attacking early on in the game. Even as the Japanese, you might say, well, why don't you do a Dark Age rush? But if you check it out, even in the Forgotten Empire's expansion, the infantry attack 25% faster in Feudal Age. So attacking in the Dark Age, the Japanese don't really get any kind of advantage, except maybe like the wood that they can save with the cheaper mills in the lumber camp. So I usually don't rush, and that's usually why. I just feel like the civilization doesn't have a really big advantage to doing it in the Dark Age. Like, even thinking like the Mongols, I probably wouldn't. I think I'm just not a big Dark Age rusher. I think that's probably what it comes down to. I think I'm making excuses. And so, looking at the scores, he's still way ahead. So I'm at 19, he's at 20. I choose to get Loom first. Didn't I? Yeah, so I choose to get Loom first. I was a little worried about losing a villager to a boar. I just did a video about how much is a villager worth, and it turns out they're actually worth quite a bit. And losing one early to the boar can actually end up costing you several hundred resources early on in the game. So I've been a little bit more paranoid than usual ever since that point. And okay, so where are we at? So I'm gonna think about aging up soon. Just give you an idea of like my strategy that I have here. I'm kind of planning a little bit of feudal pressure, but for me, the Japanese get good starting in the Castle Age, and they start to have a lot of different options. And as you get into Imperial, I feel like I have a lot of options playing as the Japanese. So as kind of typical for my strategy, I'm probably going to wall up a little bit, although I don't have a very good map to do that. If you take a look, I mean, maybe I could go back there and forward. It just ends up being a very, very large wall. I end up walling half the map. So, I mean, it could be done, but I don't end up walling in this match. and then going for a faster castle. So I'm advancing here at 10 minutes. That's a little bit early for me, and he's just behind. At this point, I have no idea. His score was so far ahead of mine, and then it dropped down that and it got a little bit close to mine. I thought that was him advancing at like 9 minutes, which seemed awfully early, and I had no idea what he was up to. If he was Mongols, I would have been really afraid for like a scout rush or anything, but I had no idea what to expect from a Briton player. Like I said, it's very rare that they would be advancing, or not advancing, obviously they would advance. It's very rare to be doing a Britons in an Arabia style map. I'm not totally sure. I guess because cavalry is really good, open, it's really easy for raiding. And just to give you an idea of the scouting, so I had an idea around my base. I saw that he had the 2 wood camps. I thought he just had the 1, and I was feeling really good because he only had a few villagers there. I was thinking, awesome, this guy isn't making tons of villagers. Turns out he was. And he has a little bit of an idea, but I managed to kill his scout. That was pretty big. He loses a lot of scouting information. He loses a lot of ability to do a feudal age rush because he loses a unit for free. And I'm always willing to garrison these villagers and stop them for a few seconds to take out a scout. So that was pretty good. And I left mine alive. And I was feeling a lot better now that our scores had pretty much balanced out, and I'd reached the feudal age first. I was feeling like, okay, this isn't too bad. And I even have more villagers than him at this point. This isn't going to stay as close for long. Just to give you a heads up. I probably shouldn't do that. Why am I spoiling it? Okay, so my idea here is to wall up. I'm trying to have, like, I don't really have very many other options in terms of where to place a lumber camp. I don't know about that stone up there, but I'm just kind of looking around. I'm not seeing a whole lot of resources around my map, and I'm thinking if he kicks me off of this, then I'm in big trouble. So I'm going to put up some houses, and the idea is to try and make like a wall that extends down, and then a wall here, and then kind of wall myself in really close to my town, so then my town center can fire on him if he comes in through the front. He's forwarding me with a couple archery ranges, kind of a strange lumber camp here. It's going to take that a little while to pay off since he only has 1 villager working it. But he's really forwarding me. He's being much more aggressive than I am. He's taking the deer. I didn't take deer, so he's getting a few advantages like that. He's not taking as much gold, which is interesting, especially if, as the Britons, he's probably going to go archers, which makes a whole lot of sense since they start to get some bonuses. And if we just look, I'm just kind of doing a little bit of scouting here. I'm really glad to see he only has 1. That's very unusual if he's going to go archers. So I was feeling maybe he was going to go skirmishers. Turns out he is going to go archers. I was trying to put my own archery range down and just get some archers out, maybe harass them. I didn't know about any of this forwarding, although I probably should have seen these patches, come to think of it. That was kind of a miss on my part. So I'm making a lot of gold. I should be getting a lot of wood. Not worried as much about the food, because I'm going to be going into archers, and archers obviously cost wood and gold. It's so funny, he's just outside. I don't quite know about that yet. Does come in though. He has no upgrades. I have no upgrades. Wasn't really planning on having the fight here. I was planning on making 6 or 7 and then sending them out. Oh no, I don't even have a blacksmith. Yeah, I wasn't planning on castling that fast. Why does it say Spirit of the Law, enemy Spirit of the Law? That's confusing. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay, so now he's going to tower rush me. Well, I don't know, it's tower rush at 60 minutes. But he's trying to build towers. Interesting idea putting it up on a hill, although the only problem with that, especially because he has no fletching, there's no additional range, is that tower isn't going to reach anything over here. So we can maybe shoot my houses. I'm not too worried about that. Good idea bringing out the skirmishers. Skirmishers obviously very good against archers, and I should be adapting to that by stopping making archers. Please stop making archers. Yeah, and just going into skirmishers of my own now. And my thought here is, you know, I'm not that far away from castle. So I'll lay down some more farms, get some more food, get up to castle age, and then I can deal with this. Because what I don't want to have happen is get stuck in a feudal war where all the pressure's on me. I'm reacting to everything he's doing, and back home, he's just booming. So I didn't know about it at this point, but because I haven't been by this way in a long time with my scout, been kind of occupied back home. But he's starting to put a lot on gold, and he's got 3 different lumber camps, kind of 3 lumber camps, which is kind of crazy. I do have a bigger food economy, and it looks like I might even have, it's hard to see with the population. Oh, I have a way bigger population. Yeah, I'm like 10 ahead right now, which is interesting because our scores are pretty much tied. I can't figure out why his scores jumped out so much ahead of mine. So now, yeah, okay, good. I was thinking by now I should have a blacksmith up. Yeah, right there. And so I have the range I'm going to be doing I would imagine the next one. Yeah, so getting the armor just gave me a little bit of a tech advantage. His towers obviously can't shoot directly below them, although kind of a bad shot on my part. So I'm waiting out. He has a couple skirmishers in there. I'm just going to try and wait him out. He can't shoot me. He's just shooting my houses. I don't care about that. That's not a big problem for me. So I shouldn't be doing this. I should be making some more villagers, but my plan is to try and get up to Castle Age, because I figure he's probably pretty close. I haven't seen any skirmishers for a little while, and as far as I know, I did know about these, but I was thinking I haven't seen skirmishers for a while, so if he's going castle, and I throw in a bunch of skirmishers, I'm in trouble. Looking at him though, I didn't realize that his food was actually so low. He has far fewer farms than me, and he's been going into gold and wood to try and keep up the archers, I guess. Throwing in a couple stables. Good choice against these. Although the only thing he might run into is I'm just about ready to go castle. And so if he's making scout cavalry and I can go castle and make some knights, or I can get some crossbowmen, it's not going to end very well for him. So I have a nice hill advantage here. I didn't realize I was getting shot in the back by the tower. That wasn't so great. Continuing my wall up here, trying to put down a stable and planning. Why am I not going castle? Okay, I should be going. This is a. Oh, I'm waiting for wheelbarrow. Okay, I figure I have 40 villagers would be a good idea. If this game ends up going a little long, I want to make sure my economy is good. I'm behind him significantly, 300 points right now. Still, yeah, I can't figure out. I mean, I guess he has military. Anyway, just throwing in a scout cavalry, which is just going to be easily killed. I mean, it wastes a little bit of my villager time, but definitely not 80 food worth. Yeah, ringing the town bell by accident. This is a much smarter tower to be putting here, although, I mean, if you think about it, he hasn't done anything to the wood back here. He hasn't done anything to the gold. A couple idle villagers, that's not very good. And that's where he should be getting me. So now he's coming around so slowly that I actually have time to finish up this wall, where normally he could have just walked back in here, gotten a nice hill advantage here, and killed him. So a little bit of a missed opportunity for him there, although he is getting some more pressure with the watchtower. He's really investing into this forward. And at this point I'm kind of thinking, well, if I'm going castle and he's not, because he's still not castle age, and our scores aren't that different, so I'm like, you know, I might actually beat him to castle age here. And if I can get out a couple of knights, I mean, knights would clean up everything here really easily. Like, there's no spears or anything like that, or even like knights against anything in the feudal age is great. So that's interesting. That's my plan right now. And I throw down a second stable, and this one's researching bloodlines, because I'm like, you know, I wasn't planning to go straight into knights here, and I was planning on a little bit more defense, a little bit of a build-up, but if he's gonna let me, then I may as well. And even this tower is keeping off, what, 2 farms? The tower up here would have been much better, and the tower here probably would have ended the game. I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. I'm still making skirmishers mostly just to distract him. He is still not going castle, and I think this is a mistake on his part. He's gone so heavily into skirmishers, and this is what can happen. You start to just try to put the feudal pressure on, and you end up getting stuck in feudal. And I don't know, his archers are just kind of like wandering around. I meant to garrison a couple villagers just to shoot, and I'm just not paying attention to that. But now I'm getting knights out, and that's pretty big. Just a couple little sloppy plays here by me. So now I have this garrison. This is going to shoot anybody that comes in here. I should have walled that up, but he's continuing with the tower. And I know his thinking is, as long as you can put pressure on people, then you're winning. And the only problem with that is, if you're stuck an age behind, that's not necessarily true. So I just put up a tower here. Didn't know he was going to do this, but I figured at some point he'd probably try. And I have enough range that I think I'm actually going to kill this villager. That's not going to be good for him, because that's his forward villager here. I guess he has another. Still going with the knights though, and I've had another choice here. I could either send them out to try and deal with this under tower fire, or I could send them across the map. I already knew about this and the stone. I was thinking I just want to get rid of his towers. Forget that, these are very exposed out here. So just finish off those villagers, and now I can see I have the score lead, and I'm feeling like I'm in a much better position. I think he's probably going castle. Oh man, he's not even going castle by 27 minutes. So he's invested way too much in these skirmishers. Like, this is basically going castle right here. Can't remember, how much are skirmishers? 35? How much are skirmishers? Oh, just 25 food. Still, this is a couple hundred food here, and then if you combine all the other ones he's had, like, that's 300 food. And that's him going castle. And he probably could have gone castle a lot earlier. So we, excuse me, even just having a couple of villagers in here, it's going to kill anything that comes in. I've denied this tower. I'm safe here. I probably could put up another tower here. That would be a really good idea. But I'm feeling okay about my knights coming out here. I'm now wrapping around the back. He has nothing back home, nothing he can really do about this. And I've sent a second wave of knights to try to harass his villagers. And I know I even managed to get some villagers out, which isn't the best from his perspective, because he should be trying to keep me locked in my town. So he didn't even do a good job locking me in my town. Yeah, so one knight, like each of these does 1 damage. He has 2, he hasn't even upgraded the range, which to be honest is a little bit of a newbie play. You should have at least upgraded the defense and the range, at least the range. Yeah, not only because it does more attack, but because you can get extra shots in. And so this has a defense of 3, he has an attack of 2. Each of those is doing 1 damage to one of my knights. Like these 2 will easily clean that up. And when you have also my knights running around the town, he's finally alerted to this and brings all his villagers in, ringing the bell. That's, yeah, I don't know, it's a little late. I mean, so many dead villagers. He was not paying attention back here. I'm running up, kill his villagers. I'm going to take some of that stone now. But yeah, this game's basically over now. So then he resigned. So he did a really good job at the beginning putting on pressure, but he didn't follow it up well. And it's interesting because people will say, you know, as long as you can keep them in their town, then you're ahead. I think he was actually going, he wasn't even going castle at the end. Wow, that's interesting. The idea is as long as you're putting them in your town, you're winning. And I guess this is the other side to that. The other side is if you don't do a great job keeping them in their town, like they can actually get out. I was building a second town center out here. This is basically abandoning this town. You know, if they get the tech advantage and they move up and you're stuck in feudal, and especially if you got nothing back home, you just can't sustain that. So he didn't do a very good job of coming up and actually taking advantage of his military when he had it. As I was advancing up to castle, he could have sent them in, done a lot of damage here, built some towers here, just a little bit more strategic in terms of tower placement. I think would have been a better idea from him. So let's take a look at this. So you can see he was just using a whole lot of units and just basically throwing them away, which was too bad. Similar collection counts, which is interesting. I didn't even collect any stone. Whoops. Oh, well, I was intending to. Similar. Never went castle. That's what did him in. So there you go. Thanks guys for watching. And yeah, so add me if you play online. It would be awesome to play you guys sometime. And don't worry, I will still be doing the overviews and the math videos, but I'll just be doing a couple of these. These are a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll see you next time.